Welcome to the West Coast Podcast. I'm Shanegotyou11, and with me, as always, is Trey.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Appreciate you guys for tuning in. This is the West Coast Madden Podcast. We are back again for another series. There's been quite a lot of news going on, not just in Madden, but in the
Just the
world.
sports world, bro.
Yeah,
It
just
is crazy, you guys. What's up, Nicholas? We are breaking down all the news today. I mean, it's huge, Trey. We've never been a part of this. We've never been a part of this in our whole life.
yeah.
The
So,
coronavirus has shut it down. Go ahead, Trey.
all right. So pretty much all I have to say is number one, I hope that this doesn't turn into The Walking Dead because it almost seems like it's headed towards that direction. I mean, I wouldn't say, and then maybe I'm gonna ask the chat, actually, the people that are in here, but let me know what you think. Like, are you scared? Like, are you one of these people that when you go out in public and you wear the mask and stuff like that, are you just not really? Me personally, I'm not really that concerned about it. And like when I go out in public and I see people wearing masks, they almost make me nervous. Like I don't know what it is, but they kind of make me nervous. But Shane, how have you been doing through all this, and what's your take on it
Like
overall?
for Nicholas, his school has been shut down for a month because he's on the west side of Washington. So that's
Oh yeah,
huge
that's
for him.
right.
Like, I mean,
Yeah.
he's on the crosshairs, but the good thing is he's young. Now, it really isn't dangerous for people that are young, actually under the age of 40, 50 years old, if you have a good health or a good immune system. Their worry is I get sick, right, Trey?
Right.
I go to my dad who's older and he has had some health issues. I could kill him.
Because
That's
it's
what
contagious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah.
the fear is. That's why they don't understand why it's not really attacking kids. And like, yeah, Nicholas, you're a junior in high school, so you're good, man. The problem is if you go visit your grandparents or go to a senior center, or you run into somebody who has diabetes or heart disease, you're gonna really hurt them. Unfortunately, like I'm bummed out, Trey. I'm just gonna be honest, man. March Madness, I was super pumped.
Yeah.
Gonzaga was going to be in the Spokane Arena,
Yeah.
and I kind
Well,
of agree with go Mark Few. Did you hear that episode at all today? Trey, at all, just real quick, and then you can jump back in.
the episode about what?
He was live. He was live with ESPN, and he was talking about getting ready for March Madness without fans. He was prepping for it, and they broke the news to him live. There's no March
Oh,
Madness. They
wow.
canceled it.
They broke
He's
it to him live, huh?
Yeah, and he said, "Why can't we postpone it? Like, in like a month or a month and a half. Most of the kids want to play. Most of the coaches want to
Right.
play." He talked to other teams and he said, "Let's postpone it a month." And now, like, I know the con is everybody's saying, "Well, the stadiums will be rented out, whoop de whoop." I'm sure you can find other venues though. That's just my opinion on that. It's just, I mean, what do you think, Trey? Do you think it's smart just to cancel everything and not postpone it, but cancel it?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm not really sure. I mean, I don't know what the problem is, like, if they just had an empty arena, but I mean, if you think about it, like the NCAA, they probably, I don't know if it's like a profit thing, where I feel like maybe they make most of their profits by, stadiums. I mean, they'll still probably get sponsorships and stuff like that because it'll be on TV still. So I wonder if that has something to do with it. But that's crazy. And I even heard that they might be canceling WrestleMania, like because of the coronavirus. So that's gonna be pretty crazy as well.
Well,
So
but you know what though? Here's the thing. I am a little in between because so far they've said healthy adults are good. Out of, I believe they studied 116 of the deaths so far. That's been, not all of them, but the 116 deaths that they could do, and 114 the person had health complications. The other two were like 85 and 93 years old. So, in
Right.
my opinion, if they really wanted it to go on, what you could do is you could find out if your family has medical problems and not and then you could show up and go to the venue. Like for me or for anybody under the age of 50 basically that's pretty healthy, you're going to be most likely all right. Like I saw the doctor on ESPN, Trey, and he was talking about how for 90% of the people it's going to be mild symptoms. It's contagious. It's more contagious than the flu.
Okay, so it's more easier to get than the flu,
Dave,
but they don't have like a vaccine for it like they do with the flu, you
yeah,
know.
yeah, they don't have a vaccine. Dave, I
Yeah.
can't do anything about the echoing, bro. I can't. It's not on my end.
Yeah.
I can't do it. You tell me every time, brother. I can't control that. Anyways, yeah, they don't have a vaccine. They said it's more contagious, but what they said is they really believe the death rate is under 1%. Not 3%, but under 1%. So, what they're saying is for most people, you're going to be okay, and you might get sick. They said that you have a better chance of getting sick from this. They believe that 30 or 40% of America will get infected at one time or another. What's up, Matt? So to me, Trey, it's I think with social media, and I may get hated on this. Let me know what you think, Trey. I
Right.
feel like the media, the social media, not even necessarily the news, because the news has always been there, but social media has scared people, and now sports venues and places are scared of the public outrage, so they just cancel it more. Because in 2009, you had the swine flu that had, I believe, a higher mortality rate than this coronavirus so far, and also infected millions of people. So to me, I don't know how much is they really wanted to cancel it because out of fear, or if they were worried that the public would be outraged by it. What's your thoughts, Trey?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with you, and I've kind of had the thing to where I'm like, like I feel like you're almost more likely to get hit by lightning than you are to get the coronavirus. So, so I still feel that way, and and I think it has to do with like hygiene, of course. And I believe from what I've researched, I didn't do a whole lot of research, but from the research that I've seen, you just have to keep doing the basic stuff. I mean, if you're gonna use a public bathroom, put the paper down. Wash your hands and do all that other stuff. So, but it's like the people that are wearing masks. I mean, that just makes me a little bit uncomfortable when I like see them. So
Well, a lot. At least what I've been researching is a lot of the masks don't help you.
right.
And actually, if you have a mild symptom, excuse me, and you cough into it, it can make you sicker because the germs don't leave. But finishing up
Exactly.
on that
Yeah.
ESPN conversation with that doctor, he was from Shoreline. He said also basically do what you're supposed to do when you're sick, anyways. If you're sick, don't go see your grandma and grandpa. If you're sick, don't go see your aunt with diabetes.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah,
they say we're a couple weeks behind Italy, and Italy has been completely devastated by this. So there is that fear that we're a couple weeks behind Italy. Could we skyrocket in deaths and illnesses like Italy? So far, though, under the age of 40, it's 0.2% death rate. 80-year-olds and above have a 14% death rate. So, I mean, it's way higher, way, way, way higher than the flu for the elderly. I'm
yep.
just utterly. It's crazy though, Trey. Disneyland is shut down. Only the
Yeah,
fourth
they
time
shut
ever.
down. Yeah, they shut down everything. I mean, March Madness. I mean, like you said, like there's a lot of schools that are just getting shut down because of it.
You got
Um,
you got schools shut down till the end of April in some places. You have the NHL suspending its season. You have the NBA season, like you said, suspended. March Madness is canceled. Tennis is suspended. NASCAR races are drivers only, no spectators. Same with golf. Um, the Vatican in Rome is shut down. Yeah. See, Nicholas, yours is close till April 27th. Yeah. I mean, they're shutting it down for a long time, you guys. Like, they're really trying to nip this in the bud. The only thing that sketches me out, though, Trey,
yeah.
what if they're hiding how serious it is from us?
Yeah, I kind of didn't, like, and I'm kind of glad that you brought that up because, like whenever there's like a new disease, I mean, we've seen it with Ebola, we've seen it with AIDS. There's always going to be a group of people that think that it's a government conspiracy. I mean, I think it was Chris Brown a while back that said that Ebola was made for population control. Like I'm not saying that I believe in it, but like when you take a step back and really think about it, it kind of trips you up because we are overpopulated
Oh,
in the earth.
definitely. And what
So
is it really getting rid of? The elderly
yeah,
and the people that are sick already. Now, if they really did that, that's totally messed up. Like, that's totally horrible to think about. But there has been warfare on your own civilians in history. America did it to themselves in World War II, and they also put drugs out on the street to see how it affects certain communities. That's been a proven fact. So I wouldn't be surprised to see. It's all about money in the end, Trey. Like, great video that I watched. It was on Twitter. If you guys ever get bored, go watch the 5 minute videos by Kathy Porter. I believe she's the governor, or not the governor, but a representative from Orange County, California. She
right,
had Trey. She had this doctor that could. He's high up doctor, and she was like, "Hey, do you know that 30% of the American population deals with pain and injuries because they can't go to a doctor without insurance because they can't afford paying out of pocket? Did you know that
right,
70% don't even have enough savings for an emergency to go to the doctor?" And the guy's obviously high up doctor, and he's like, "No, I didn't." She
oh,
said, "Do you know how much it'll be costing each individual in America?" You guys go look at this video. It's by I believe her name's Kathy Porter, Orange County representative. All you have to do is Google it or Twitter. But I'm gonna summarize it basically. Is shows, do you know how much the coronavirus will cost each individual in America? He says, I don't. Well, that's the problem right there. You have a high up doctor that controls it and is having a meeting with the government, and he doesn't even know how much. You know why, Trey? Because he's rich. Doesn't affect
yeah,
him. He can just go, pay out of pocket. She goes $1,351 per individual without insurance. So she said, you have the power to say, I want everybody to have free testing for the coronavirus. He's like, well, let me talk to my representatives and I'll get back to you. She goes, I already sent you a letter. It's past the deadline. Yes or no for free coronavirus testing. He said, well, I'll talk to him. She said, answer the question. Yes or no. She finally got him to say yes, bro.
Okay.
So now people can get the coronavirus testing for free. Just like people are kind of up in arms, and I agree with this. I don't know what you think, Trey. But with the coronavirus, we didn't have enough testing, right? We didn't have enough testing in America. We couldn't put out enough testing. But then the NBA players get the coronavirus, and they could get the testing right away. 58 tests right away. You don't think that's kind of offensive to the middle class of America?
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, I mean, if you're if someone like Problem Right, which and like I know that there's some like streamers out there like W's one, Problems one, but like if they get sick or injured, it's gonna take a hit because they're not gonna be covered by insurance. So, but I feel like if you have like like a full-time job or even like I think FedEx. I think if you work at FedEx even part-time, you get like benefits. So
yeah, but what about the people that don't though?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Here's something that trips me up, and I'm not saying that I need a handout on everything, bro. That's not how life works. But the Senate tried to pass $1.5 trillion, right? $1.5 trillion for all Americans to get 2 weeks off to nip this in the bud. 2 weeks off, paid what they get paid. So if you make $5,000 in 2 weeks, you get the $5,000. If you get 500, you get 500. They voted no. But you know what they just passed for $1.5 million or 1.5 trillion, not 1.5 million, 1.5 trillion? Stock market help.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, man, we don't have our agenda right, in my opinion. Like Italy slashed mortgage. People that owed rent, they said you don't owe rent this month. Let's get rid of this virus. So I'm just saying, man, like it's crazy. So like the whole world is basically shut down, and there is a rumor. Okay, I'm not trying to spread a rumor, but I am gonna. But there's a strong rumor from a source that said America could be shut down in 2 weeks. Like you must stay home.
You know how scary that would be if that happened,
bro. Hey, I'm just gonna say something. Go ahead. Go ahead, and then I'll tell you a funny story.
But like, how would that happen though? Like, are they just like what do you mean shut down? Like
you must be self-quarantined.
Oh.
Like you're supposed to be in your house. Oh. You're not supposed to be going to the gym. You're not supposed to be going to the grocery store. You don't go to work.
You're just stuck.
You're just in your house.
Yeah.
And that's what China did, supposedly. That's what Italy's trying to do. And yes, Nicholas, it would be the second greatest depression of the U.S. ever in history, and I fully agree on that. And that's what people are afraid of because they said we're 2 weeks behind Italy, and that's what Italy is doing. And a military person said there's a great chance that America will be shut down in 2 weeks if it happens like it happened in Italy. So, funny story about that. I see a picture online from Spokane, Washington, Walmart, and this person said there's no TP. And this is why. And they showed a picture. and this one person had a cart full. I mean, bro, like, you know the big packages? Then
Yeah,
like
just bought
five
all
of
of
them.
them. Yeah.
Like people are afraid, and I mean, in a couple weeks we could be like, yo, it was just a blip on the radar, or it could be something, a little bit more serious. Like they're not really saying like Trey, you and I, or Nicholas, or some young people are gonna die. Their fear is that I get infected, I get a little bit of a cold, but I pass it to these old people who pass it to their other old people, friends, and so on, and it
Yeah.
kills thousands upon thousands of people. For some reason, it's not affecting, besides, mild symptoms, people under the age of 50. I mean, I researched the crap out of it, Trey. Because
Yeah.
damn if I'm gonna get it and die from it. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, the NBA season is at least 30-day suspension. Same with the NHL, the WHL. I think and baseball as well. So 30 days for sure that there's no sports.
What about the XFL? Are they gonna play?
No,
They played
zero
last week.
rumor on that.
Oh.
But people already, isn't that Vince McMahon? Doesn't he run that?
Yeah. He owns it, right?
Yeah,
The
they're
XFL.
they're
Yeah.
at his head right now, saying that he better
Oh.
cancel it. He better
Yeah.
suspend it. But the fear is that it might cost XFL everything.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be tragic too because the XFL is actually doing pretty good this time around. And then like they have this happen, and then it's like, oh, well, that's gone now. It's good.
But
But
it's even crazier though is that not just March Madness is gone in college. Every sport in college is done. College baseball, college
so
softball, tennis. What else is there? Track and field, golf, all gone, done. You know how devastating that is for a senior? I mean,
yeah, it's
that's
hard.
crazy.
I mean because everybody loves sports, so like for all of them to be canceled, it's like damn, like
Well, and colleges are going online right now. They're not even letting people go to school. They are literally saying you do your homework online. WSU and EWU, which is local, you can only do it online. They're really
okay.
trying to stop it. I think, depending on how it goes, obviously, but I feel like Trey, they kind of were overconfident. I think the government was a little bit overconfident with this one, and now they're like, "Oh snap, it's a little bit more serious, so let's try to fix it." So I think they're trying to make. I do believe eventually people won't be going out and doing stuff.
All right, so do you think that I mean because we have the Madden Bowl, I mean that's coming up in like I think April, mid-April. Do you think that that will be shut down too? Because because if you think about it, they could just if they're scared, they could just like have the entire tournament online.
That's a good possibility, actually, Trey. I could see that happening.
Yeah,
It depends. You know what? It depends on the next week or two.
yeah,
If we catch up to Italy and it is a little bit scary, I think they cancel. Well, I think they shut down everything for one. I think that military
yeah,
officials being is right, but if it kind of relaxes, I think everything will just start back up again. I think what they're doing is
yeah.
they're afraid that it's gonna pass through, like communities and cities and wipe out the older generation, the sick, and maybe the younger generation. Maybe it changes, but so far it hasn't. I mean, I'm looking at the news right now, and it really. it's just affecting the older people and the sick. I don't how do you recover from this? Like I believe Spokane is losing out on $5.8 million of revenue.
That's a lot.
Yeah, 5.8 million
Yeah.
is just really it's crazy. What's up, Little Red? Yeah, they're just doing a lot of it. Um, they had a breaking news as well. A German biotech company has made 4 million coronavirus tests, but they charge you $180 a piece. I just think it should be free, but that's just me, man. But I do like how that lady, the representative from California, made that guy say, "Yeah, America, it's free to go get it checked out." I just how like call it. I mean, college. The NCAA in a whole is going to be fine. They make so much revenue, so even though they lose out on March Madness,
March
which
Madness.
that
Yeah.
is the second biggest gambling day ever. It, it's only behind the Super Bowl for gambling for the first round. The first round tournaments bring in the second most profit of any sports betting in America besides the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So.
Oh, so let's move on a little bit. What was the Madden players getting suspended for? Do you know? Do you have any news or info on
Okay.
that?
Okay. So yeah, that was kind of a bit of an awkward transition from the coronavirus, but I think we summed it up pretty good.
Yeah, I mean,
So
there's not. We
yeah.
went 30 minutes about it, which I mean,
Yeah.
we could go on longer. There's just not really much to say. They shut down everything.
Right. All right. So before we get into the banning, because EA just has the hammer, and they're just like slam it against everyone. But there was a bit of a Twitter beef, and I don't know if Shane heard about this, but apparently Joke got mad at K-Mac because I guess K-Mac found out Joke's defense, and then K-Mac posted it up online, and then Joke said, "Just know if." He said on Twitter, "Just know if I see you, we're probably gonna fight." So so like if that fight were to go down, who does the chat think is gonna win? I think K Mac probably wins because Joke is like short and chubby, but that's just me.
I don't know.
So
I think most of them just cap. I was talking about I heard top pros were getting suspended. They're having 2 week suspensions from
the
LCQ.
auction house,
Do you know
yeah,
anything about that?
yeah. I actually know a few people in the community that they got their accounts banned online. Some of them it's because they're buying coins. But if you guys know anything about FIFA, there was a big time FIFA player that got banned. I believe his name is Kurt, but he's a big time FIFA player, and he like spoke out and said, I don't like this game, basically just speaking their mind, and then EA banned him.
Well, supposedly Little Red said it was about coin transferring. So I would
Yeah, yeah.
assume that they're transferring coins to their second account or to somebody else. Is
And then
that
they
what
get
it
caught
means? And
and
then they
banned.
got caught.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, but they need to start doing that. I mean, I think that they should make it where you don't get to have multiple accounts.
yeah.
They should be
And
able to tell that because it comes from the same IP address, right, Trey? Or no?
yeah, it comes from the same IP address. I believe that Jaybird fell victim to that. And what my opinion is on it is that I think everybody in the community has bought coins at one point or another, like especially if you're like a competitive player. But I think what EA is saying is like they want you to what's I'm trying to think of a way I can word this like in an appropriate way, but they want they want you to like buy bundles.
Yeah, they want to
At
earn.
least
They
they
want you
don't
to
they
earn
don't
it the
want you to
legal
just
way.
yeah, they don't want you to just because they probably know it goes on. But if you're spending money on coins and not giving EA any money, then I think they're gonna come after you if that's the case.
You
So
know,
just that,
we all have done it at one time or
yeah,
another. My biggest issue is the multiple accounts that people are allowed to do and they don't really care about. It's like look the other way. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
EA looks the other way. If they start to discipline people that do it, I'm all for that. I know people might disagree with me, but I'm all for that because what people do is, for example, Trey, I was 75th on LCQ, and since 245 odd has come out, I have struggled. I was top 40 all year. This last chance qualifier, I was top 40 till 245 odd came out. Um, what happened to me though was there was a guy. I'm not going to air him out. He ended up being nice about it, but it really cost me a lot of ranking points. What he did was he's a top 30 player. He got bored and made a second account, and then he just starts all over again. And what he did is he knocked me off like 10 spots. But he's a pro. But see, he was on a second account, so he wasn't rated at all. I think that's where they should get in trouble about it. And also where they like scam the MUT level up system. I think those are the two main things. Buying coins, I mean, I'm not so sure. Maybe they should just have a buying coin option on EA. You know what I mean? Like instead of buying bundles, you can just buy
yeah.
coins if you
You can
want.
just you can just buy coins, and I think that EA has made it kind of easier because now if you buy a bundle, you can just quick sell all your cards for trading, and then if you have enough trading, then you can just get like a 95 overall player and sell them. So
And yes, let's be fair. Let's be fair to EA overall.
yeah,
It's just starting to pick up in Madden. I know it's
yeah,
been around since Madden 16 and Madden 17, but really nobody really played it. There's just a few, and by a few I
yeah,
mean maybe like 1,000 tops. Madden 19 and Madden 20, it's at an all-time high where it's basically quadrupled in participating players. So they're learning. They're learning. They're learning people's scams. What's going to happen? They're going to also start to possibly hire out players that know all the tricks of the trade, if you know what I mean.
yeah. So basically EA is playing no games and and it's kind of sad because I know that there's a lot of people in this Madden community that they sell coins. I mean that's kind of there's some people in the Madden community, some of them make YouTube videos, some of them make like tips and ebooks, some of them play money games, and some of them stream and some of them sell coins. So for the people that do like sell coins and all that, I don't really want them to, hurt them
Yeah,
because
I don't have a problem with that. See, I really don't.
yeah,
I don't have a problem with that as even as a competitive player. I spent most of my money buying packs from EA. I'll just be honest.
yeah,
Uh, but I don't have a problem with that. My problem is what I said: playing on a lurk account, ruining people's leaderboard rankings just cause. Um, learning how to scam the level up to have way
yeah,
better players than people right away. Those are what people should get disciplined about more than the coins. But if they're smart, they will make it a coin option. But you had a good point. The training points They kind of figured
Yeah,
out, yeah, we can
and
you can buy it.
like for like the trophies, I believe they're called the Series 5 trophies, but I think it's like 10, and then like you could buy a wheel of coins, and then they give you like it's between 1 and 50K. I mean, granted, you're gonna get like 15K or 1,000K, but
The
it's
most I ever
something.
got on that, bro,
So
was 20,000.
you got I think I got like 15K one time, and that
And I
was
mean,
it.
I spent a
So
lot, bro. I spent a lot. But yeah, I mean, what's your opinion? Do you agree that they should, like, if you make a multiple account, you should get disciplined, or no?
yes, I think you should get disciplined, but I think the people that should be left alone are the people that like spend money on packs for EA. Which I think that that's what EA is kind of doing because I think they want people like to buy coins, but they also like if you like spend money on their game because I think EA kind of looks at them as vultures almost that just like they don't give EA any money. So it's like from EA's perspective, it's like, well, this guy's just cheating the system. He's not doing anything for me, so
I
I'm gonna
just, I,
ban him.
I just feel like if I make a second account, right? Let's say I'm top
Yeah,
20, bro. Let's say next year I'm top 20, and I wait until the end of clubs, right? And I'm like, I don't want anybody knowing what I'm doing. I don't want anybody knowing my name. And then you're Trey, you're whatever, trying to make it in. And then I just come
yeah,
play you. You don't know it's me. I'm in a brand new account because I'm already in. And then I knock you 15 to 20 spots off. And then I let my friends play me once I have a great record, and they get to steal the juice and make it. That's what D Rose did, and soccer balls, and Space Jam. Yeah, I'm talking to you punks. Anyways, um, but I think you should get suspended, bro.
yeah. I agree. I mean, it's like, and it's kind of crazy because if you look at Madden, I mean Madden Nation, like the old school show back in '09. I mean the format of that show was manipulated because like Madden players were scumbags back then. And then, like
Back
however
then,
many years later, 2020, like the top competitive market, which is a small market, are scumbags. And
yeah,
then
man, I
they'll
don't, I
do
don't think Madden
whatever.
players have changed at all, bro. I think they're
Yeah.
dirty, and technically, EA could suspend them or ban them if they actually followed their rules. If you follow their rules, I think it was like 5.23. It says no manipulation of the leaderboards, and by
Yeah.
that, I would definitely believe that making a second account and letting your friends win, or making a second account just to ruin people's rankings is manipulation of the leaderboards. Is that not?
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. But but of course the pro players, like if you tell most pro players, they'll be like they'll say something like, "Oh, well you should win anyway." But it's like why can't you just make your one account and then that's it? Like why do you have to like do all these other scummy
But
tactics and
see,
all
and that's what I
that?
fully agree. I'm just not
Yeah.
like that, and I mean, I just play with like I just play to play. The thing is, they don't care unless it affects them, bro.
Yeah, for real.
Like they didn't
Or,
care about
yeah.
run game unless they couldn't beat Serious Mo. Then they had a problem with Mo and the run game and whoop de whoop. Um, I got a couple topics left to go. Do you have any topics that you want to talk about before I bring up the topics?
Okay, so there is one more topic that I want to touch on before we throw it back, but which I'm sure a lot of you probably know, but NFL 2K. For for those of you that don't know, NFL 2K came out with the game back in 2004. It was called NFL 2K5. It had Terrell Owens on the cover. So and many would consider that football game to be the greatest football game ever made, and that prompted EA make it to where they're the only ones that could have the NFL license. But they recently came out and said that they're going to be making a video game, 2K20, and I think they said it's going to be released next year. But it's not going to be, I guess, 11 on 11. It's going to be like 5v5, but this is going to hurt EA because if you remember back in 2008, they made an NFL 2K game, but they didn't have current players on it. They had older players. They had John Elway, Barry Sanders, and people like that. So EA is going to get greedy, and because now they have all these older people. So what I think 2K is going to do, they're going to go up to Deion Sanders or like Barry Sanders or Bo Jackson and say, "Hey, Deion Sanders, how much does EA pay you to be in their game?" And then 2K is going to be like, "Okay, we'll pay you this much money, and you can only be in our game." And I know that EA is kind of shaking in their boots because that would kill Ultimate Team. So
Yeah, but my only thing is, though, bro, is it's through NFL licensing. So they'd have to talk to the NFL. 2K would have to talk to the NFL licensing. You can't really just go
yeah,
up to Dion on that. Like, I mean, you could make a fake Dion where it's Dion, but it's not Dion. It's about the licensing,
well,
right?
what they're saying is that the NFLPA, right?
Yeah.
So the NFLPA, which is the license that EA owns, is for current players.
Oh,
Like
okay, okay.
the retired players aren't a part of the NFLPA. That's why 2K was able to make that game back in 2008 with John Elway and people like that. So
Yeah, and
the,
it's supposed to be arcade-like, right? No
I
simulation.
yeah, I think they're gonna make it like how 2K is, like 2K basketball, like the park, but I guess it might just be like 5v5,
Will it be like Blitz?
but I
Do you
don't
remember
think
Blitz at
so.
all?
I It's probably just gonna be like a backyard. It might be like NFL Street if you ever played that game, but
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do agree with you on some of the parts. I think it'll help possibly grow the Madden community, but with like, if the NFL stays with Madden, which I assume they will, 2K is gonna have a hard time getting tournaments, bro. Because most people are gonna
yeah,
want to play
they're gonna.
Madden.
Yeah, I don't think 2K. I don't think, and this brings me to my next point. I don't believe that 2K is gonna have an esport, but what I'm saying is that this makes it to where EA now can't be lazy. Like this makes it to where EA is on their toes, to where like they can't just like sit back and just make a crappy game because they actually have competition now.
Right, but I got a question for you.
So
I got a question
yeah,
for you.
yeah.
Do you blame Madden for making a crappy game, or do you blame the players for trying to exploit the game?
Um, that's a good question.
Because they try, think about it, they
That's
try
a
to fix it with patches, but then you got these scammy butt players that figure out the different glitch, and they keep trying to patch it, and then eventually they ruin the game. So my question is if the scummy players that didn't try to glitch the system played real simulated football, do you think Madden would be better then? So is it Madden or is it the players? That's my question to you.
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, the reason I say it's the game because if we take a step back and we don't try to look at Madden from, the blitzes or like the money plays and the air trucking and whatever, if we just take a look back and we go into the game, like how many times? I mean, I was playing a game just the other day, and I had the ball right. I was running into the end zone, and the guy hits me, and I fumble the ball. The ball goes out of the back of the end zone, and then they said it was first and down on my own 20-yard line,
That's
and
EA.
and there's no referee on the field. On top of that, and 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 there's and how many like just like animations there are. Like you see the same animations over and over again. Like I don't want the game to be animation based. I mean, that's just my opinion. I know a lot of people would agree with me on that.
Would,
So,
would you like? Okay, here I'll say this. I think, and I talked to my guy at EA, and I've told you this numerous times. I've said it on this podcast. They need to tone down the abilities, and
yeah,
they're gonna try to
definitely.
do that, bro. But another thing is I've been losing to a couple people that literally throw post flag elite to Calvin Johnson, and he'll catch it over two guys, and that's their
Yeah,
read. That's their read, bro. Is that real skill?
no, it's just it's just an ability. Now, see, like that's a part of that's not really part of EA. That's more of like the pro players taking advantage of the abilities. But like remember that thing that you posted up, where you were playing 49er and then you made that pass and then it like bounced 50 yards back.
Oh, that's
Like that was just
horrible, bro.
yeah.
That's
That
that's
was just
EA.
yeah, that was bad gameplay. So
Right. But here's my opinion. I'll give you my opinion. I think it's 65-35 players that ruin the game.
yeah.
35% is EA, like, the bad passes that are weird, the weird glitches like you said with the fumble, get the ball back at the
Yeah.
20,
20.
them taking away like pinch protection so people just do one blitz over and over again. And I think most of it is the players that ruin the game. They find little glitches. And to answer you, Nicholas, Calvin Johnson has caught double team passes. He has, but not like the game. He might do it once a
Yeah.
game. He might do it once every couple of games. But literally, bro, they run out, they roll
It's
out, and they
every
throw it up.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're talking about you're not catching it over Kelly Jennings or some scrub that is like fringe NFL players. I'm talking about you're catching it over primetime Dion with Rod Woodson 99 card or a Troy Polamalu 99 card. It's a little fake, bro. It's a little too fake for me. And yes, deal with it, right? That's what they say, deal with it. Here's my second question to that. Trey, we had this conversation last podcast or the podcast before. You said I like it that they don't force you to pick the same play, or I mean, you can pick the same play
Yeah.
over and over. Do you think that if you had 4th and 20, right,
Right.
and you go for it, they lower the chances of you converting it? Like, they don't make it the same way, I guess. Like, on this game, 4th and 20 is just 4th and 20. But if it's 7-7 in the first quarter, they're on their own 20. Would you prefer that they lower the odds, however they do it with generators, and they make it more simulation football? Like, you should punt the ball. You should do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, I like that too. And I
Okay,
mean, especially like if you know, like, and I'm sure you've been in games where it's like, okay, I know what's coming. He's gonna throw a corner out to like Calvin Johnson. Like I was playing I was running cover two. Like literally, I was running cover two. Like the cornerback on the outside, his responsibility is to guard the out routes and the corner routes and curls and stuff like that. So the guy runs a crossing route, and my guy just like sits 5 yards beneath and doesn't go for the ball. Like that kind of stuff is inexcusable in my eyes. Because it's like, what's the purpose of even having him there if he's just gonna sit there and do nothing, dude?
um, it's just, bro, it's bad. Sorry, I just had a phone call from the wife.
Oh, okay.
Little Red, you said this is happening in Sour Cap. That makes sense because you already not using the best players. But I am. But I am. I make my team realistic. I don't put
you
65 offensive linemen and run around with escape artists because the game's broken. I use 90s, guarding 90s. But post flag elite, they bail it out. Corner routes, they bail it out. They need to tone it down, and the guy at EA even agreed. He said, yeah, they're trying to
yeah.
tone it down for Madden 21. They don't want to remove it because, ding, 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 he said it's a money generator.
Yeah, for sure. So,
Yeah, okay, Trey. I'm reading the comment section. Little Red says, yeah, but Dion and Rod Woodson have the best coverage stats, but they have a 4 or 5 inch height difference in Calvin Johnson. Okay, Little Red, I agree, but Calvin Johnson was not making double catches every play almost in real life.
yeah.
Please show all the double coverages he had, and he was going against random normal players that weren't Hall of Fame
Yeah.
players. It
Yeah,
wasn't
exactly.
happening. I guess I want simulation. I want real simulation. You beat me playing simulated football, I don't have a problem with it. But let's slowly move on. Yes, I hope 2K, Trey, for your topic, I hope 2K makes Madden step their game up. I hope they make
Yes.
Madden
Yeah.
make competitive players change their way in the sense of can't have double accounts, can't do this, and can't do that. So I agree. So slowly moving on, the topic win of the poll was favorite video game memory. Trey, go ahead and go first.
Okay, so I'm someone that's been playing video games like my whole life, basically. I mean, I think my favorite memory, I would go back to like when I was like, a kid. I was big into like professional wrestling at the time, and it was like WWE SmackDown versus Raw, like 2006 and 2007, and uh, and then from there like moved on to like Madden '07. But my favorite video game of all time was NFL Street 2 for like the Xbox and the PlayStation 2. I mean, that was the game that I had the most fun playing. Like, I think it was just like the nostalgia of it, like the soundtrack. Like, you ever like, and people are gonna understand, but like whenever you hear like a song from like a movie or like a video game you used to play back in the day, like it takes you back to like those days. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, that's what I definitely know what you mean, Trey.
yeah,
Chat, definitely share your favorite video game memories, and I'll read it to Trey because Trey can't see the screen.
yeah.
Everybody knows my favorite video game memory. I'm pretty sure it was when I made the live event. What was that? Madden
Yeah,
13. It was the biggest event. It was like MCS now,
for
and
Virgin Gaming.
yeah, but it was
Yeah,
bro. I still can't believe first place was 140K.
that's a
But
lot of money.
yeah,
That's more than they give out now, back in 2013. Isn't
yo,
that crazy though? They were giving away that much money and like, well, I don't know if EA was a part of that, but they didn't even have MUT. Well, I mean they had MUT, but it wasn't like how it was
no, it
now.
was
Like,
regs. It
yeah,
was regs,
yeah,
and I almost feel like if they had a regs online qualifier,
yeah.
I'd be top 15. I'm still a little
Oh yeah, for
confused about
sure. You
salary
would.
cap.
Yeah, dude, and I truly believe that too because I used to play you in money games back in the day, and I truly believe if there was like a online qualifier for regs that you would be up there, no doubt. You'd be like top 10 or 20.
Well, I think so too because I think I'm better at regs than salary cap because that's all I grew up on. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And like yes, was I top 40 this year for club qualifications and MUT draft qualifications? Yep. Last chance qualifier I fell off because of 245 odd, but I was top 40 for most of the year, 90% of the competitive Madden. I believe regs I would be top 10, top 12. And I'm not trying to blow myself up. Trey knows how I am in money games and stuff on regs.
oh yeah.
Te-
It was,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
I mean, it was kind of messed up because you in a way kind of took my innocence in Madden because I was like playing Madden 18 online and I thought that I was good, but then I played you and then I realized that I was trash.
Yo,
So in a way,
you're a good player. It's just
yeah,
there's people that are just better, and that's
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
And it's
yeah,
also different skill sets. It's crazy. So get this right.
yeah.
This was late Madden 19. This guy trashed me on Last Chance Qualifier.
Right.
What was his name, bro? I can't remember. I can't remember because he changes his
Yeah,
PSN. This is my other issue with things.
yeah.
Play him for money, and I house him over and
Right, right.
over again. And he's like, "Oh, Regs is trash. That's why." But I'm better at I'm better at Regs. And just like this year, I played Baked Out for money. And I mean, I beat him for most of the year on Mutt until Last Chance Qualifier and the 245 odd killed me. But I whooped
Hmm.
him because he couldn't do the same dumb plays over and over. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like there wasn't
and
abilities. There wasn't
and and
abilities that
and
bail people out.
and also like when you play like with normal team, you're able to have custom playbooks. So like, but like if you play Mutt, which and I think that that's why like pro players don't like using custom playbooks because they have to use their brain. Like because like it takes them out of their element to where like they're just used to the same two or three plays every time. You know.
Well, but that's yeah.
Yeah.
They don't want to expand their brain. They want to shove 3-4 down your throat, or 1-4-6, or
Gun
2-4-5
punch.
odd. Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
rinse and repeat. Plus, Regs is different than Mutt. It just is. It plays different. Regs plays faster. I still do money games on Regs, and I'm gonna tell you, like if I haven't played money game for a bit on Regs, I've been trying to do salary cap and Mutt draft on money games because you switch regs and Mutt back and forth, man. The speed is totally different. Okay, I'm gonna read Little Red's favorite video game memory to you, Trey. She said first video game she ever played was Monster House, based off the movie. I don't know what
Oh,
Monster
okay.
House is.
I think I've seen the movie a while back. It was like wasn't that the one where the guy was like get off my lawn or something like
I have
that? I
no
think I've
idea. See,
heard
I
of
don't
it.
watch a lot of
Yeah.
movies. And then she said
Yeah.
also her first Super Bowl championship on Madden. Respect on that, Little Red. Yo, okay, so going back to the coronavirus just really quick. My
Yeah.
wife just told me that, like, the stores are going crazy.
Oh, I can
She
imagine.
said, she
I'm
said all the lines are at the back of the wall, all the toilet paper is gone.
people are really preparing for the yeah.
Wow.
I mean to be honest, like because like I'm someone like I've been to Portland before. Portland's kind of a shithole. Seattle is a really cool city. I mean, I really like Seattle a lot, but Spokane's pretty cool. But I think the people there are kind of weird for the most part. I don't know if you feel the same way,
We're at
but
Portland.
no Spokane. But
Spokane. I mean, it's all about, I guess, what kind of person you are.
yeah,
Like, when I went to Cheney High School, if you were a cowboy, um, I ride horses, listen to
yeah,
country
you're
music, you'd have loved Cheney High School. But if you were listening to
a city
Tupac,
kid. Yeah,
um, thinking you were like you could rap and play, you liked playing basketball and talking crap while playing it, it really wasn't your forte.
yeah.
Dang. So
Yeah, and it's interesting that you brought that up because I know a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but we talked about it in the past, like on streams. I don't know if we ever talked about it on the podcast, but we know that you actually used to make music. Like did that start out in high school or did that like not come until like a little bit
okay,
after?
so when I was like 16 years old, this is my drive though. This is when I get when I'm almost like OCD about things, like I need to try to be the best. I need to just work on my craft. So, anyways, I was about
Yeah,
16, and I was obviously big into rap music. I had a couple friends. We tried to rap together. what I started doing is I started making beats off of my mom's computer, and I would record it, and I would filter it and do all this stuff. Not
Right.
studio quality, but And then I was about
Yeah.
19 years old, and I was like, I'm gonna go to the studio for the first time ever. I was supposed to go with my friend. He ended up moving away, so I took a huge shot. I met a guy. I'd said I needed an R&B singer. He was in a church choir. This
Right.
black dude that was in the military. Amazing singer, bro. I went to the studio by myself, bro, which is like kind of
Yeah.
nerve-wracking. First time ever. I went to the studio. I dropped my rap. He came a little late. He dropped the song or the chorus. It
Yeah.
was called Just Me and You. I put it on soundclick.com back in the day. Bro, number one for months and months. I was getting fan email. It was the
Yeah.
craziest experience of my life. Well, I told you the story, but I ended up basically
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
signed by a Canadian music place. I was literally one movie away from being on the soundtrack with Puffy and 50 Cent. My dumbest decision was telling my company that I would not ghostwrite for Puff Daddy, whatever his name is now, P Diddy,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy though? Like literally, I was supposed to be on a soundtrack with 50 Cent and Puffy through Universal Studios. That is my
Yeah.
15-minute fame to claim, or whatever it's called, 15 minutes of fame.
And yeah. And you regret that like now pretty much
Yeah,
looking back
yes.
on it. Yeah.
Um,
But
ego. It was ego. Like, damn, do I
yeah.
want to do Puffy? I don't like Bad Boy.
Yeah.
I mean, but it was also ego. Like, I don't want to write raps from some dude. But now, like, I'm like, damn, I'm dumb.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I
You,
mean, so yeah, it was pretty cool. And for a while, man, I was on the radio. I was on Copacabana. My song was getting played at weddings. It was a cool situation, man. It was real cool. It was really cool. I
yeah.
kept pumping out music, and then I had my kid, and then life moves on, and I stopped doing it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so Little Red said that people are selling stuff out in New York too.
Yeah, that's
Nicholas, I'm
probably
gonna
real
break
bad.
down all the topics you've asked me, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, that's Little Red. You got recognized by Gut Fox. You going famous, famous. What about you, Trey? Did you have 15 minutes of fame at all?
mm,
No.
I mean, mm, oh, okay, so a while back, it was like a year ago. Uh, Jordan or Lucas. I mean, I've talked about him. I've seen him live back in like 2018 in Seattle. Um, but this was like the time like before like I mean he kind of like he was like famous, but he didn't do the song with Eminem at this time. It was like a couple months before he did the song. So like he was like walking through the crowd. He had like five security guards with him, but like he was walking through the crowd and like I seen him like about 2 feet away from me and he passed by me. I wanted I wanted to shake his hand, but if I like took my hand out, he would probably think that I was trying to hit him or something, and I would have got thrown out. So
Yo, I feel you on that. Yo, okay. Actually, you want to hear something crazy, Trey? And you can be like, uh
yeah,
huh, Shane. Uh huh, sure.
yeah,
I think Ti stole my song. I had a studio song. No, no, hear me out, bro. This was
all right,
when this was when he did he was just starting. I put a
right,
song on Sound SoundClick, right, from the studio. About it hit number one, two. Not trying to blow myself up ego wise. I'm just trying to explain. his CD comes out. I'm listening to the chorus, right? So he didn't steal my whole song. He stole a couple lyrics and he even rapped it like me. I believe he listened on SoundClick. Because who's going to believe him? Or who's going to believe me over him? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, T.I.
nobody.
stole my
Yeah.
chorus and he fucking freaking, pardon my language, I apologize. He freaking, even made his chorus and voice sound like me. He rapped it the same way, bro. It's like if Tupac was
Yeah.
still alive, right? And I was
Yeah.
like, "Dear Mama, I appreciate the way you raised me and all the
Right.
extra
Right.
love that you gave me," right? So Tupac does that. I have a song that's similar to that. Who are they going to believe?
Yeah, definitely, because he's bigger. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that's what yeah, and I think that's what Drake did. I think didn't Drake like it was like Triple X, like XXS Tentacion or whatever his name is. Like I think Drake had the same situation where he bit his style or whatever. So
Oh, yeah.
I think
Yo,
it happened.
and it's definitely true because who are you going to believe? Like, you really think, like, people are going to believe me that T.I. took it? Only one friend was like, yo, I think he did take it. Because
Yeah.
that what you guys like what is really hard for people right now to think about is SoundClick was humongous back then. It was like YouTube or what's the other one? SoundCloud that people are getting found out
Yeah,
about.
SoundCloud. Yep.
And so think about like a rapper doing it on SoundCloud or YouTube and they're number one. Like I was number one on SoundClick. I took my stuff off because they told me I had to take my stuff off because I was signed.
Yeah.
I was number one for 6, 7 months, you guys. So you don't think rappers that were commercial could hear that? That's all I'm saying. Moving on, Nicholas, I'll answer your topic, so I'm going to do it right now. Do I think that the draft is going to be pushed back in NFL? I do. I think it's going to be
Yeah.
in May. I think it's going to be in May now. I think it's going to be pushed back. They're already pushing back other stuff in the NFL. I think the owners meeting got canceled, pushed back. And then also Nicholas Justin Herbert reminds me a lot like Ryan Tannehill. I think he possibly could go to the Patriots and do decent, especially if Bill Belichick's still there. Trey, what do you think about? Do you know who Justin Herbert is from Oregon? I believe
No, no. I mean,
he.
to be honest, I don't really follow the new prospects, even though I should. But I've seen a few combine videos, but that's really about it. But he's from Oregon, you say?
Yeah, and he's a lot like Ryan Tannehill. So I mean, a decent
Yeah.
QB. He
Do
reminds
you,
me of
do you,
that.
do you think he'll be like Marcus Mariota, another Oregon player?
Yeah,
Another,
I think he'll be a
yeah.
little bit more like Tannehill, but I don't think he'll be great. I think he'll do decent if he's in the right program, which means
Right.
whatever coach gets him. Uh, so you guys, Trey knows this. I put it on my wall on the community. This is my last podcast until I have my second child, or my wife and I have my second child. So letting you guys know this that there won't be a podcast next week or the 26th. It will most likely be April. Is it 3rd, Trey? Roughly around
For
there. When
yeah,
we do
right
our
around
next
there.
podcast.
Yep. We'll
So,
keep you guys updated
we'll
on the
definitely keep
channel.
you updated.
So,
Also post about when my child is born. I appreciate you guys doing all that and sticking around. It's cool, man. Like, it's cool that we're doing this and you guys are sticking around and hanging out. I enjoy it. Also, Monday and Fridays, I will be streaming at least an hour a day during the off season, like you guys voted for. So Mondays and Fridays, Trey, I will be streaming again come April for an hour.
All right.
So that's
We'll tune in for
yeah,
that
that's
as
another
well.
thing.
Yeah.
Nicholas, how do I think the NFL season is going to go with the coronavirus? It depends on what the next few months do. I mean, in June, if it's horrible and like nobody's living besides inside, they might cancel it. My personal opinion is I think in a few months this will be blown over and life will go on. What's your thoughts, Trey? You think so too? Like, you think in a few months life will go on, or you think it's going to be pretty
Yeah,
horrible?
I think it'll pass. Um, but I mean, it remains to be seen. But I don't think the NFL like. I mean, they were talking about having a lockout, but I don't think they ever really went through with it. Did they? Did they? I do,
No, because they're
do you,
trying to get the CBA fixed. I think they'll be fine on there. And you know what's crazy? Going back to Justin Herbert really quick, he could throw it 62 yards standing.
damn.
That's pretty. That's pretty incredible. That's a good arm right there. I think he'll be better than what's that QB with the small hands from LSU or something? I can't remember what's going on, man. So you guys, just to sum it up real quick, Seattle is going crazy. The most expensive restaurants in Seattle are not doing sit downs anymore. They're doing drive through only. Yeah, Joe Burrow, thank you. I don't think he'll
Joe
be that
Burrow.
good. He has
Yeah.
tiny hands. So, also UW, another good thing is they're doing coronavirus testing. So that's another good thing. You guys, I do think life will just
Life will
life will
go
go on.
on.
You
Yeah.
know what
Yeah.
trips me out really quick? While so we wrap up this coronavirus topic,
Yeah.
they're closing down all the sporting events, right?
Right. Right.
All the celebrities are not working now. They're canceling movies. They're canceling TV shows or postponing it. Excuse me, not canceling, but
Yeah.
postponing it. But the normal folks, guess what they got to do? Go to work.
Go to work. Yep.
So
It'd
do
be
you?
it'd be nice. Yeah, it'd be nice to be like a billionaire or
But I'm
something
just
at this
saying,
part
like
of
you're so worried
time.
about it passing around. Why aren't you letting everybody stay at home? Why didn't you pass that 1.5 trillion dollar bill?
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens, you guys. Definitely check out the channel for updates on everything. Trey, do you have anything else to say?
Oh no, not really. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Definitely tune in for when Shane does the streams and the new podcast whenever that shall be. But that's it for me. So.
Trey, I'm just taking FMLA, bro. Yo, that's all I'm doing. I'm doing the
Yeah.
2 weeks off, man. I'm doing the 2 weeks
Yeah.
off, get settled into
We'll
a
be back
newborn.
at it. Yeah.
But, we'll definitely be back in the first week of April for the podcast on Thursdays at 5 p.m., same time. Y'all better be here. And then also I'll be doing Monday and Friday 1 hour streams, probably different games, maybe some Madden, depending on how much I want to smash my head through the TV. But
Yeah.
this is a West Coast podcast. I'm Shanegotyou11, and like always, by my side is Trey. I appreciate you guys. Stay safe out there. We'll see you in early April.